Hi, welcome back, parents, to the Ages and Stages video series. I'm Dr. Audrey Robinson, the play therapist for Mesquite ISD, representing Best Care Anywhere, our MISD counseling services. One of my areas of expertise is child development, knowing what to expect from each age and stage.
I'm Lindsay Paris, Community Liaison for Mesquite ISD, representing Read Play Talk. My job focuses on helping families to maximize the benefits of reading, playing, and talking with their children every day. We want to help parents know what to expect at each different stage of development and how to support your child. We'll be examining each age and stage from birth through age 12. It is common at all stages of development for children to move from times of being agreeable and confident to more explosive and self-absorbed times. We're going to continue this series with 3 to 4-year-olds, often called pre-K instead of toddlers because of the age's closeness to starting kindergarten. This age is often seen as a welcome break from the terrible twos with kids who are happy within themselves and in their relationships with others. Although by 3.5, you may experience what many call a three-nager, a time of dramatic instability.
In our last video about toddlers, we talked about supporting our kids in their growing independence and emotions. This is still true for our 3-year-old. The 3-year-old's brain is 2.5 times more active than an adult brain. They are excited about learning new words, being read to, making connections outside of the family, and their imagination and sense of fantasy is blossoming. Then something changes around 3.5 because their bodies and brains are getting ready to have an intense period of growth at 4. It can seem all of a sudden they are no longer secure in skills they had recently mastered, going back and forth from loud and silly to shy and withdrawn. Nothing is wrong. They are people for the first time, and they don't know how to handle all these changes. This is particularly important time to support their brain's growth because their brains start to go through a period of pruning where connections in the brain that are not used die. With all that growing, they need and actually can sleep through the night for 10 to 12 hours, plus some kids may still need a nap. We talked a little bit about toilet training in our last video, and by 3, many have mastered toilet training. Boys are more likely to master it at a later age than girls. Nighttime accidents are still common, as are accidents when playing, because 3s are afraid to miss out. Either way, respond with acceptance, help, and a reminder to listen to their bodies. Kids of this age are aware of the physical differences between boys and girls, differences in skin, hair color, and more, and are still curious about bodies. They may ask questions, enjoy being naked, or be interested in body functions. This is innocent, and young kids don't have a sense of modesty. If you'd like more information or help responding to your child around this topic, there are resources in the information section, and my contact information is at the end of this video. 3s are developing emotionally and socially in new and exciting ways. They love to talk and share their thoughts and feelings. To them, the universe revolves around them. They feel love, joy, fear, and anger just the same as adults in very intense ways. They are beginning to recognize feelings in themselves and others by facial expressions and tone of voice, and are sensitive to others' opinions of them because they now understand right and wrong. The best way to promote emotional development is to name the feeling you see. The saying, name it to tame it, is true. Saying things like, you're angry that your sister took your toy, or you're so excited to see grandma tonight. This helps kids to recognize the feelings within themselves. They often don't know which emotion they feel, just that they feel bad. Tantrums and big expressions of feeling are still very normal, although not as frequent as 2.5. Consistent and predictable daily routines and limits expressed calmly can help decrease tantrums. 3s also start flexing their growing independence, which can bring on more tantrums. Be careful of making idle threats or jokes like, I'll leave you here, when they don't want to leave a store, because they don't know the difference between fantasy and reality. They may feel terrified of being left, and then there will be another tantrum. And 3.5-year-olds may have more difficulty separating from parents. Offering choices meets that need for independence and helps them learn self-control. Give 2 choices and only about things that you're okay with them choosing. In our store scenario, you might ask, would you like to hold my hand or your sister's? Or would you like to go out the right door or the left? This growing independence also helps them to become more concerned about their relationships with others, and they are beginning cooperative play. They know how to take turns, but still don't know how to share, which is totally developmentally appropriate. They don't know how to put others' feelings above their own, even though they can identify those feelings. Playtime with others may involve yelling, crying, pushing, and more. Help walk your kids through problem solving, which threes are not yet good at. Your child may choose to play alone to avoid these conflicts.
In a year of opposites and growing independence, you can help your child's development in a few key ways. Read. Threes love to hear stories over and over and can recall parts of those stories. Ask your child questions when you read together. We all know they'll ask you questions. They love to ask W questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how, although they are very concrete creatures and they may not understand all the answers. At this age, you can also begin working with your child on letter recognition, and some children may be ready to learn letter sounds. Using magnetic letters and cards are great ways to introduce letters to your child. Play. Your 3-year-olds may appear taller and thinner and has better coordination and can even ride a tricycle, throw a ball over arm, and kick a ball. Children at this age will literally play until they drop. You'll notice by 3.5, they're clumsier and might get frustrated with drawing and building because they can't physically do what they are imagining. You'll notice they hold crayons with their fingers and complete large piece puzzles. Their imagination is taking off, and you'll notice make-believe with dolls and animals and friends, though they may struggle to know the difference between fantasy and reality. It's not uncommon for threes to have an imaginary friend or insist they are a certain character. It's important to balance structured activities with unstructured play. Having items on hand like boxes, household utensils, and dress-up clothing help to stimulate their imagination. This is a great time to dive into your child's inner world and let them lead during some of the playtime. Play dress up, be superheroes, and don't be surprised if your child wants to wear the costume out or even to sleep. This is also a great time to allow your child to play outside. Running, climbing, and jumping will help to develop your child's largest muscles. And it's totally normal if your child prefers to be with one parent or family member over another. Talk. Children of this age can speak in 3 to 6 word sentences, name colors, and enjoy repetition and rhymes. Their speech becomes clearer and they can be understood by those who don't know them. They are mastering the basic rules of speaking and using pronouns like his, her, she, and it, and even understand numbers and basic counting. It may be frustrating for you as a parent while your child goes through this phase of learning, but remember to be patient with them as they are soaking up so much new information from the world around them.
Children go through similar predictable stages, but how fast or slow a child goes through the stages varies. If you have concerns or questions about your child's development, you can consult with your pediatrician, reach out to your neighborhood school, or Early Childhood Intervention for Dallas County.